Hello, my name is Stephanie Draves, and I am in Stephanie West Elm 315 class. This is my presentation on the importance of literacy. The things that I'm going to cover is explicit reading instruction and why it's so important for levels or grades kindergarten through third. I'm going to be covering the components of reading, as well as Scarborough's rope. I'm going to be covering that, as well as how to pronounce Scarborough, because I do it so well. And then I'm going to be going over dyslexia and how that affects the learner's success, 2 strategies that could support them in the classroom. And then I was going to go over the importance of the sequence of reading, as well as how it affects a child if they don't have those foundational building blocks. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to be covering is the explicit reading instruction. And basically, it's through thorough explanation, children have a better chance of building those synapses needed to take in the information. The more that they're practicing and the more thorough the information, there's a lot more spaces for a child to connect with their prior knowledge. And with their prior knowledge leading the way, as well as all the influences from their own environment, the more thorough that we explain it and the different ways that we explain it, we can connect with a child's learning style. When we're able to connect with a child's learning style, we can actually connect to them as an individual and a unique learner, and we're able to connect with their ability to develop these skills, as well as a growth mindset that supports them in acquiring the skills needed to become a successful reader. The next part that I'm going to cover is the components of reading. So phonemic awareness. Letters can be represented by by the sounds that they make. Also fluency. Fluency is the ability to speak as well as to put words together, and their ability, not just putting words together, but while they're reading letters together, while they're spelling, and sentences, and building those into paragraphs and bigger pieces of writing. And also understanding and comprehending their fluency to comprehend bigger pieces of information. Vocabulary is huge. It's a foundational piece, especially because they're getting vocabulary from their home, vocabulary from the school, and the more that they're taking in these words, the better chance that they have at understanding things and putting things together, almost like math pieces, of adding different pieces that they hear to create sentences, and then again paragraphs and other pieces of writing. Text comprehension is really the ability to read something and then comprehend what they're reading, to take in empathetic measures if they're reading about a character, or also how does it apply to their real life. Phonics are more, it's a hands-on, it's more of the presentation of this is how things work into practice. This is how they work when we're using them to read. The next thing that I want to cover is Scarborough's reading rope. And how we say that is Scarborough, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. However, breaking it up into smaller pieces, it was more supportive in reading it, as well as I actually saw that when it was upside down, I was able to recognize different things, and brings to fact the different skills and building pieces that help us actually put together different pieces, as well as develop our fluency in reading. This is Scarborough's reading rope, and just like a rope with one string, it's really weak under pressure. Time tests, pressures at home, different things that the mind goes through, it can cause things to break. When we're building our background knowledge, our vocabulary, as well as the structure to which we speak, we're building these different strings, and instead of them all being pulled separately, when they're used together, it's supportive in increasing the strategic skills of the reader. So in order to, if I have background knowledge, I might be able to read a story and understand where the character is coming from because I have an experience to support that. My vocabulary, let's say I come from this household that uses a lot of this vocabulary. I would be able to put that together in a sentence to understand something better. It would also support my comprehension, and all of these pieces, as we develop those into skills, end up supporting our word recognition, which is where we start decoding and we're broadening our awareness to the phonological phenomenons of writing. Sight recognition, also being able to see and recognize letters as well as words and other skills. And as they come together, they form some tight skills. Again, with word recognition, it increases the automatic, so the ability to develop that fluency. This increases the strategic abilities of the reader, and it develops a skilled reader, someone who can read quickly. Next is dyslexia. I'm going a little bit long. However, dyslexia is our next one. It develops a person's ability to decode, to read letters. Sometimes things switch. Sometimes their ability to recognize like letters like B and P might not always be accurate as they're going through a piece of literature, and so it can really discourage a reader, as well as it's not supporting to the confidence as they're moving through these skills. The more that we're able to like some strategic possibilities would be giving a student extra time to practice these skills, as well as offering a graphic organizer during lectures and or pieces of lecture. Where this supports is the more that they're practicing gathering information and collecting it, the more that they're building on those synapses to connect those memories to future lessons, as well as build upon prior knowledge. And the more that they're repeating those skills, the more that they're supporting reducing anxiety because they're confident in the skills that they're producing. They're mastering their skills because they're practicing it more frequently, and they're supporting again the synaptic growth within the brain in order to create more and more of those strings to tighten the rope that they're building off of. That reminds me of the importance of sequencing. If we have just like a couple of these ropes, it's kind of like climbing a ladder without a rung or without a step. It's possible. We're able to get through the literature. However, and the same as climbing a ladder, we're able to get to the top, possibly, depending on how many rungs are out or steps are out. However, it's not going to support the strength of this board in order to stand the pressures of time. And so, again, reading is important, especially to developing those skills. Practicing and repetition is huge in developing confidence as well as mastering of skills. So again, what I wanted to share was this is my Importance of Literacy project, where I hope that you heard about the explicit reading instruction, Scarborough's, the components of reading, Scarborough's reading rope, the 2 research-based strategies, as well as the importance of sequencing. And yeah, thank you.